Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. The XRPL ecosystem poster version 2 is finally here. This coming from XRP_Crow here on Twitter, guys, and I'll link this in the description. If you are interested in ordering one, you can go to his website here. I believe he does send out copies of this. Anyway, he's a great resource for everything Ripple XRP when it comes to infographics. So giving us a sense, NFT collectibles, metaverse, software and apps, all the different applications within the XRP ecosystem. I'm not going to go over all of them, but they are here. I will link this in the description of the video. And he's done some over the years with the XRP community as well, XRP community members, although the community is growing by leaps and bounds every single day. So many of us are waiting with bated breath, waiting for the verdict coming from Judge Torres about the Ripple SEC case. And Bill Morgan here commenting on this with regards to Ripple's usage of XRP, obviously discussing this idea that XRP could not be a security. So he says there's a difference between believing what Ripple is using XRP for will increase XRP's price, although there isn't much evidence what Ripple is doing increases its price, and expecting Ripple to act to increase XRP's price because it is obliged to investors to do so. So, a very straightforward, obvious point here, I think, that the judge can't really miss. I think most XRP holders can understand the difference that this should separate XRP sales, whether or not made by Ripple, from securities. Call of Liquidity down here saying, I fully agree. And if the price soars after the lawsuit ends, some people may try to connect Ripple's efforts in XRP price, but I think that increase basically comes from the clarity and not the security itself. Oyvind here saying as XRP buyers' view is about expecting Ripple customers to increase the price. I guess that's a question. What is the challenge in the security law then? Duke G down here also agreeing XRP simply does not secure any ownership in Ripple or any share of its profits. Just like if I bought a Model Y from Tesla using a tax credit with intent to hold and sell it for profit after tax credit expired, not an investment even though Tesla promotes them. Another interesting point by Pyrus here, he says, your error is in continually referring to what an individual investor might have thought. It was how Ripple made the offer that created the problem. Whether a specific investor thought this or that it was part of the Howey analysis, what Ripple said and did is. So another perspective here, again, I think we're feeling pretty confident, especially after that library verdict, that, the judge is just not going to be able to look at it in any other way. Of course, we've got good lawyers on our side, and that has definitely helped bolster Ripple's stance. But not only that, the missteps by the SEC, the constant retracting and the constant flip-flopping on their statement has definitely hindered their case. And in the judge's eyes, I don't think that they really do have a leg to stand on. So anyway, wanted to thank Bill here and everybody contributing to this thread for posting. I don't think we're really in a place where we don't adopt XRP in the United States. This one from 801 XRP. This is Sam S. Lim. Okay, he's at DBS Bank, which is a Ripple partner, and he brings us some interesting insight on the US dollar, BRICS countries agreeing to use the renminbi for payment in certain cases, the US dollar sunset, how the US dollar has put the United States in a very strong position, and how that, guys, is all changing.
It's an amazing story.
So let's get into the banking world and some of the cross currents. I talked, as you saw, with Roberto Acevedo about the power of the dollar and being used as a weapon.
Yes.
I think it's great to get value-added assessment and analysis from somebody sitting in Singapore. Do you see the U.S. dollar fading away anytime soon, or the rise of the renminbi at a faster pace than most are expecting? Because we're trying to look at here the near term.
Okay, that's a very good question. Before I answer the question, let me give you sort of a slight preamble to it.
Sure.
When the Roman controlled the roads, they controlled the world. That was called the Roman Empire.
Yes.
When the British controlled the sea, they controlled the world. That was called the British Empire. So the Americans came along and thought if they control air and space, they will control the world. And so they were shocked when Russians sent Sputnik into space in 1957, and they were shocked when Yuri Gagarin went to space in 1961. And then John F. Kennedy retort was that let's put a man on the moon. And actually, because of that race, in 1969, the Apollo 11 landed on the moon. And that was really the start of the third industrial revolution, which was the digital age. Now, I digress a little bit from your question.
Makes sense. I follow you.
But the reason why why today is the American empire is really because of the US dollar. President Nixon, I don't know whether he realized it, when he depacked US dollar from gold, which gave America the ability to print money, it really made America the most powerful nation in the world. You look at QE1, you look at QE2, you look at QE infinity.
I know.
Not billions, not hundreds of billions, the trillions of dollars that's being printed. it's probably backed by the paper it's printed on. So, put simply, it's backed by confidence and confidence alone. Now, to touch on an earlier point about weaponization, the American weaponizing the US dollar in this as we speak today actually undermine the only thing that's propping up the US dollar. The only thing propping up the US dollar is confidence and confidence alone. And by weaponizing the US dollar, it might be good in the short term, but in the long term, there's tremendous repercussion for the country.
Yeah, so you're not a supporter of it, obviously.
I'm not a supporter of it. Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So some interesting points he makes there, gives us a bit of an historical background on where we were before and how we got here today. The fact that the U.S. printing press basically printing trillions, and he makes a joke there. The money, what's it backed by? Essentially, the paper that it's printed on. Basically, confidence, government confidence that we could keep the charade moving forward. Eventually, this is all going to crash. He talks about the U.S. in relation to the petrodollar. Listen to this next clip here.
What do you think of this move by China asking to pay for its oil and gas to Saudi Arabia? What does that tell you about China?
Okay. China has been wanting to do that for a number of years, I think. And the Saudi has never agreed to it until this month, actually. So it's a tremendous, significant decision. And I'll tell you why I say that. Now, you look back in 1971, when the US dollar depacked US dollar from gold. Why would anybody want US dollar? Because right now, we don't know what it's backed by. But the fact that the US dollar is the dominant reserve currency of the world until today is because they have an agreement with the Saudis that oil, a most crucial commodity, is bought and sold in US dollar. By having it, that's why the term petrodollar came about.
Yes.
And because of that, the demand for dollar was always there. And because the demand of the dollar was always there, even when they depack US dollar from gold, when we know it may not be backed by anything, dollar continued to be a strong reserve currency.
Right.
So this month, the decision by the Saudi government to let oil be sold in renminbi, I think it's a tremendous significant decision. Okay, I don't know whether the Saudis are aware, but by agreeing to the US to trade oil in US dollar, they were probably a major reason why today is the American empire as we know it today. The Saudis have really contributed to the position that US dollar is in today. And this recent decision to use renminbi, I think has significant implications in the long run.
Good. I wasn't planning to go in this direction with you, but I think it's very interesting and you're super smart.
So some interesting insight here from Sam S. Lim of DBS Bank, based in Singapore, a Ripple partner, and discussing US dollar dominance and how he's, not even a fan of the US dollar's continuous run to be the dominant world reserve currency. The BRICS countries, these nations have not been happy for a long time. As Mr. Lim here puts it in this interview, China has been working towards something like this for years now. Moving away from that standard, enter cryptocurrency and blockchain adoption. A lot of these countries, I think they were just waiting for blockchain and DLT to get far enough along so that they could jump on board. And this is why we're seeing a lot of these countries in the East adopt much quicker than, let's say, countries in the West. Interesting to say the least. Wanted to thank 801 XRP for posting that. Now, along those lines, we're seeing news come out of India like this. This from Mike Manfield here. India's retail giant Reliance to accept CBDCs at stores. Now get this, guys. So they're the largest retail chain in India. They'll start accepting retail payments in digital rupee in a move that could supercharge the adoption of the country's recently launched CBDC. The Mukesh Ambani-led firm said it had partnered with ICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and fintech Innoviti Technologies to launch the in-store support for the digital rupee. Now we know ICI Bank and Kotak, they are both Ripple partners. I believe there's a Ripple connection too to Innoviti, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe that's another company that I'm thinking of with a different name that sounds similar. Customers who wish to pay with the country's central bank digital currency will be provided with a dynamic digital rupee acceptance QR code for scanning at the store. The retail giant said on Thursday. Reliance Retail, part of the Indian conglomerate Reliance, said it has rolled out the support for central bank digital currencies in its gourmet store line, FreshPick, and will extend the feature across all its properties eventually. Thursday's move makes Reliance the largest Indian firm to adopt the digital rupee. And guys, here's a quote. This historic initiative of pioneering the digital currency acceptance at our stores is in line with the company's strategic vision to offer the power of choice to Indian customers. This coming from the director of Reliance. He said in a statement, with more Indians willing to transact digitally, this initiative will help us provide yet another efficient and secure alternative payment method to customers at our stores. So getting Indians on a central bank digital currency. Interesting to note, several Ripple partners here connected to this, and even Mike Manfield here notes this down here. Kotak is a Ripple partner, and as I was mentioning before, I believe ICICI Bank too does have a connection with Ripple along with Innoviti Technologies. So some interesting partnership news here. We know Ripple's got a lot of partnerships in India, so I would not be surprised at all if some sort of XRPL technology was introduced into this new project. So interesting news here coming out of India. Wanted to thank Mike for posting that. Another one, guys, from the wrath of Kahneman. Peering through the mist, Ripple investor partner, still Standard Chartered, has a crypto custody arm, Zodia, that has formed a JV with SBI Digital Assets. So Standard Chartered and SBI Digital Assets, two Ripple partners, or rather Standard Chartered, a Ripple investor. They are now launching a joint venture. The new co will provide institutional digital asset custody in Japan, subject to regulatory approval. SBI first disclosed that such a custody venture was in the works during the investor presentation in mid-2022, at the time mentioning that it might involve SBI DAH and SBI VC Trade, its cryptocurrency trading initiative. SBI and SC Ventures has already collaborated to create ecosystems for startups, including blockchain, crypto assets, fintech, and AI. Here's a quote, guys. We are delighted to have built a relationship with Zodia Custody that centers on building trust with our clients through financial strength, technological and operational expertise, and a shared alignment with market regulations for digital assets. We believe our partnership with Zodia is a unique global proposition to institutional clients. So again, focusing on the institutions, SBI Digital and Zodia, who is connected to Standard Chartered, two Ripple partners here, partnering up to create more adoption in Japan. Wrath of Kahneman also down here just noting Zodia was to offer only BTC and ETH originally, with XRP on the way. And he also retweeted out this other article here from back in 2020, Ripple partner Standard Chartered to launch crypto trading for institutional investors. And I believe Zodia is also mentioned there. So interesting news. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. What the world is realizing, governments worldwide, they're realizing there needs to be a more transparent way to do business. Obviously, the powers that be, they like the system how it is, kind of cloudy so that they can control it and, keep us in the dark. And so although crypto companies like Ripple are 100% transparent, there are always a few that are going to ruin it for the many. And I think Tether, Tether's been this point of contention in the crypto space for a long time. Regulators point to companies like Tether often saying, look, there are certain companies that are not 100% transparent. And, so this is why we can't just jump into regulation right away. Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. Did you guys know that only 4 people controlled Tether holdings as of 2018? So this is some new news coming out, and it's likely going to get regulators' ears to perk up. Just 4 men controlled 86% of stablecoin issuer Tether Holdings Limited as of 2018, according to documents obtained by the Wall Street Journal. So I'm wondering if these probes are, going to give them more ammo, if they're looking for it specifically to give them more ammo to be able to crack down hard on stablecoins. Probes by the New York General's Attorney Office and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission into Tether Holdings in 2021 exposed its previously unknown ownership structure. The company of the issuer of Tether, the world's largest stablecoin with $68 billion in circulation, according to CoinMarketCap. According to the documents, Tether was built by the joint efforts of ex-plastic surgeon Giancarlo Di Vassini and former child actor and crypto entrepreneur Brock Pierce. In September 2014, Tether Holdings was incorporated in the British Virgin Islands. So 4 people basically held the cards for Tether, and this stablecoin has grown to be the largest since 2018. And I mean, it still is the largest by market cap. It's the most widely used on most exchanges. It is also the most criticized stablecoin, I think, is probably safe to say, in the ecosystem for, some obvious reasons, some not so obvious reasons. There have been scandals, including Tether, like the one with Bitfinex, Bitcoin backing it with Tether and then buying Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys remember that from a few years ago. But, all this to say, I think another excuse now to really crack down on stablecoins, especially in the United States, giving U.S. officials more of a reason to really kind of examine cryptocurrency with a fine-tooth comb. Now, we're just hoping regulatory clarity is going to happen in the U.S. And with a pending Ripple SEC lawsuit, we are hoping for the best, and we're expecting the best to come out of this. Regulatory clarity in the United States is going to be key. Well, guys, check this out. Pelosi? This coming from Mr. Hubert here on Twitter. Who's this? Samantha Pelosi? Is she related? Here's what she posted. I don't know if this is on Twitter or some other website here. Ripple has partnered with several nations in their development of a CBDC. The fintech is now soliciting ideas from enterprise developers with its CBDC Innovate Challenge. There is still time to participate. See below and spread the word. So it sounds like she's fairly bullish on Ripple, the ecosystem XRP, and Ripple's endeavor to help central banks create central bank digital currencies running on the XRP ledger. So that's the first part of this. Very bullish from Samantha Pelosi, JD. Now, I had to do more research into this. Andrew down here saying not one of her children, thankfully. And I was looking into this because it got me wondering. What I found on the internet might surprise you. Now, guys, I found this video. I couldn't even find this document. This document was likely scrubbed from the internet, but not before this was posted about 3 years ago. It only got 81 views. And here is what this document says. Did you know that Samantha Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's stepdaughter, is the senior vice president of BAFT, Bankers Association for Foreign Trade? Currently, Samantha's title is shown as being the senior vice president of payments and innovation. BAFT is basically a more technical name they use for the Federal Reserve. The FT, or foreign trade, of that acronym should have given that away, though. And then in this document, they had links here to the Federal Reserve and minutes from a meeting. Here you will see Samantha Pelosi's title under the Federal Reserve Board. So, scrolling through this video, you're seeing more connections here, BAFT staff. And take a look at this, Samantha Pelosi with her contact information. Now, this was from 2019. And as per this document from BAFT.com, it states here, Samantha Pelosi is Nancy Pelosi's stepdaughter. So the daughter of Paul Pelosi, perhaps from a different marriage? Things that make you go, Now, guys, I cannot confirm this, nor have I found any more information on this, but this does seem very unusual. Chief Compliance and Regulatory Officer, Mojo, Legal Compliance and Policy Strategist, Blockchain Payments, AML, Chief Founder, Board Member, FinTech Advisor, ex-ABA Federal Reserve, and FinCEN. It's got the same last name, and Paul Pelosi down here, just wanted to show this because we have Paul Pelosi's information down here, including his spouse, and his 5 children, including Christine and Alexandra. So these are only 2 of Paul Pelosi's 5 children. The other 3 are not named here. So could one of them be Samantha Pelosi? Again, guys, not confirmed. However, what she's saying here does sound bullish when it comes to Ripple and XRP. Ripple and XRP, the XRPL, and CBDC innovation soon to come. I gotta say, I was not expecting this today, but a nice little hint maybe of where Ripple and XRP will be in terms of regulatory clarity in the US and where the plans are heading in the near future. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.